Now we got it. The first item on the, let's see, we got a letter from Councilmember Harmon, Councilmember Pratmore, and got deferred meetings. Okay. The first item on the agenda is BL 2014-835. Council Lady Moore. And we do have a letter from her. It's an ordinance to change from R8 to SP zoning for properties located at 1813 Beach Avenue to permit up to 7 detached residential units. And I have a note here that said this is to be deferred for one meeting. Is there a motion? Second? All in favor? Okay, it's deferred for one meeting. Excuse me, Bennett, Scott David Duvall Gilmore. Bill 835 is approved. It deferred for one meeting. Excuse me. The next item is BL 2014-861, Hunt Dominique. This is an ordinance to acquire permanent easement, temporary construction easement, or fee simple for Big Church Pike Improvement Project. Is there a motion? Is there a second? I don't have a note to say that. Let's see. 835. No, don't have it. This is Hunt Dominique. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was made aware of that. This is deferred by rule for one meeting. The next item is BL 862, Pridemore Stein Dominic. This is an ordinance to acquire certain rights-of-way easement, drainage easements, temporary construction easement, and property rights for North DuPont Avenue sidewalk. Is there a motion? Questions? Second? All in favor? 862 is approved. The next item is BL 863, Claiborne, Stein, and others. An ordinance to acquire certain right-of-way easement, drainage easement, temporary construction easement, and property rights for Lebanon Pike. Is there a motion? Questions? All in favor? Not yet. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Bill 863 is approved. The next item is BL 864, Harrison, Stein, and others. And this is an ordinance to acquire certain drainage easements, temporary construction easement, and property rights for Alicia Avenue sidewalk. And I don't think we have, hold on a minute. 862. The sponsors, Harris is not here, Stein is not here. Stein outside. There he is. both of them. You got a bill 864. It's an ordinance to retain certain property easement, temporary construction easement, and property rates for Alicia Avenue sidewalk. Do I have a motion? Questions? All in favor? 864 is approved. And we do have a letter to approval for Councilmember Harmon on Bill 865 and 866. This bill is an ordinance to acquire certain drainage easements, temporary construction easement, and property rights for Elysian Field Road sidewalk. Is there a motion? Questions? All in favor? Bill 865 is approved. The next bill is 866, Harmon, Dominic, and Hunt, an ordinance to negotiate and accept permanent and temporary easements for the Berrywood Drive Stormwater Improvement Project. And I have a letter to approve also. Is there a motion? Questions? All in favor? Bill 866 is approved. The next item is Bill 867, Anthony Davis, Dominic, and Hunt. This is an ordinance to accept a permanent easement for Naida Court Stormwater Improvement Section. Is there a motion? Questions? All in favor? 867 is approved. The next bill is BL 2014-868, Baker, Hunt, and Dominic, an ordinance to abandon retain easement rights for property located at 5300 Indiana Avenue. Is there a motion? Questions? All in favor? 868 is approved. The next bill is BL 2014-869, Duval, Dominic, and Hunt. This is an ordinance to abandon an existing sewer pump station, an easement, and to accept an 8-inch public sewer main. Is there a motion? Second? All in favor? 869 is approved. The next bill is an ordinance to amend the Metropolitan Code pertaining to two-family dwellings. Is there a motion? Second? Is there questions? Sorry. All in favor? Yes, I'm sorry. Got one from Gilmore, got Lady Gilmore. Yes. Hold on.
Okay.
Go ahead. Push your button again. It's stuck. Are you on? Now. You on now?
Chair.
Yes.
There we go. Chair Hunt. Okay. So if you could just explain the amendments.
Okay. Where you want me to start? Well, I'll tell you.
You've been working on it so much, so wherever you start is more than what I have, I guarantee you.
Okay. I think I want to let Ms. Logan bring you up to speed on this.
Okay.
She can jump in at any point. Hold on. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chairman. There are two proposed amendments. One is that the proposed text change would only apply to permits issued after December 1st of this year. And the second one, in the event that that does not pass, is an amendment that would only apply to building permits issued prior to the effective date of the ordinance.
Okay. Can you explain the second part a little bit more? The second one, the other one's pretty clear.
The second amendment that states that the provisions of this ordinance shall not apply to building permits issued prior to the effective date of this ordinance. Mm-hmm. And if I may suggest that clearer language as far as administration of this bill would be the provision of this ordinance shall not apply to building permits applied for prior to the effective date of this ordinance. And I say that because if it's passed in the language that's written today, you could have people who have already applied for the permits relative to duplexes, but because this gets passed, they'll end up losing that and they'll have to reapply because maybe their plans won't match what the current ordinance allows for. So I would suggest if the committee were to move forward with this amendment, that they make that change to the language.
Okay, thank you.
Councilmember Bettany? Excuse me, I don't know why this state. Okay, now you're on.
I just wanted you to record me as abstaining on this vote.
So noted. Councilmember Claiborne?
So which amendment are we taking first?
We're not going to,
Yeah, I mean, someone would have to offer the amendments for you to even really consider it.
Okay, well, okay, I have a question for Mr. Sloan then. Going back to what you just said, you're suggesting that if we do the amendment to make it effective with the passage of the ordinance, that the language be clarified to say that it wouldn't affect anybody who has started the application process? Is that right?
Yes, Councilman, that was my suggestion, to change the language so that anyone who had applied, it would not affect them, where it could if you'd applied but you had not been issued a permit yet, then essentially the law would change as to what you could build. And so you may have an application that's already in the process that then would have to be denied and sent back.
Right, okay. So, Mr. Cooper, as a committee, can we modify that amendment in this process, or do we have to bring a substitute amendment forward?
If the committee wanted to make a recommendation on the amendment, it could be offered in the committee, and then you could recommend the amendment with that modification. But at this point, there's no amendment pending before the committee because no one has moved an amendment. So that would need to happen first.
Okay. Well, Mr. Chairman, I would move that we consider the amendment with the modifications that Mr. Sloan has made to say that anybody who has started the application process would not be constrained by the passage of this, but that it would become effective as of the date of its passage.
you got a motion and a second. Is there questions? Okay, no questions. See no question. All in favor? Aye. The motion passes. Okay, just a minute. Let me get Councilmember Westerholm.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I believe that Councilman Claiborne addressed the issue that I wanted to discuss. From a procedural perspective, I believe we just brought forward the amendment. Do we need to move the amendment on the bill?
Yes, move the bill as amended.
Okay.
Okay,
Then I would like to move the bill as amended.
we got a motion and a second to move the bill as amended. Any questions? Council Lady Gilmore?
Thank you. Perfect, Chair. So, okay, I just wanted some more clarity as it relates to, I'm trying to see how to ask this. I was told, I'm not clear, but maybe someone could speak to somehow this affects the process that architects may experience now as it relates to the stamps and drawing renderings as it relates to this bill? Does anybody?
No, I heard that, but I don't think it relates to this bill.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear.
That's what I was saying the other day, okay?
Okay.
That's a different matter.
Maybe if you could just,
Council Lady, I am familiar with that issue, and this bill doesn't relate to that.
Contextual overlay.
Okay. Okay, and so maybe can we just kind of address that with here, how it doesn't relate, but speak to what I'm, so that they will know that this bill does not affect it. Could you just speak to what you just said?
Well, I believe what you're asking is how the codes department will evaluate whether it's the height or whether it's the floor area that's covered by the adjacent properties and how that's evaluated. Most of that language that we're talking about is actually in the contextual overlay. There is a height piece of this legislation as well. So I guess for height, it actually would. And what codes has said, and I don't see Bill out there today, but they said that they would allow someone to come in with an affidavit stating what the height is for the properties that are relevant to the measurement of how tall the structure can be that's coming in the infill duplex development. So that's one way that they've said of doing it. Another one is to actually just go onto the properties and measure them in total and take measurements right there. But and then you could have a surveyor that would actually put those measurements into the plans, I would assume, that were submitted to the codes department to make the determination about the total height that infill development could be.
I got you. So could you please clarify, I think you did a good job of explaining it, but I still don't walk away with the sense of, is that required for the process, the stamps and the certain certification for anybody? Does that have to be a specific someone that has certification, or can anybody do it at this point?
Ms. Logan was correcting me on this one because it's just a measurement of the width to the height of the development.
Okay.
So I assume whether it's going to be in architectural plans or whether it doesn't really, I don't think, have to be stamped from an architect for the building plans to be submitted because the codes department is going to be able to take a measurement of what the width of the building is and what the height is from the plans that are submitted to them for approval.
Okay,
So
and so it would not need stamps?
It would not.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate that clarity. Thank you. Thank you, Chair, for indulging me.
Thank you. Councilmember Westerholm, you have another question? Okay. We have a motion, a second to approve the bill as amended. Is that right? All in favor?
Aye.
Bill is amended. Okay. 770 is approved as amended. And one abstention, you're right. Thank you. The next item is Bill 833, Anthony Davis. And I do not have a letter from Mr. Davis. I'll make a motion to move it to the Hill. It's moved, it's been motioned. Second, moving to the Hill and defer for one meeting. Motion to defer by rule for one meeting. Is there a motion? Is there a motion to defer by rule? Question. All in favor? The bill is deferred one meeting. And that concludes the Planning and Zoning Historic Committee for this period.